Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to our class. Let's start our class. The same thing today we will do the other sentences. Okay. Yesterday we have covered assertive sentence. I have explained to you how to change an assertive sentence from active to passive. I have given 3 of the rules. I hope everyone has understood those things. Today we will continue narration. Here today we will learn for actually I'm taking for class 8, but narration as it is as it is both important for class 10 also, so you can stay here. Okay, so we will do interrogative and imperative sentence. Today I will explain the rules of interrogative and imperative sentence. Okay, so are you ready, everyone, and are you listening my voice properly or not? Please mention it. So let's start it. I will read it out the rules and then I will explain the rules to you. You just listen to it properly, and if you have any doubt regarding those sentences, those rules, you can write it down. Okay. Okay. So let's start. Tell me what is interrogative sentence. I hope everyone know it. What is interrogative sentence? Just write in 2 or 3 words. What is interrogative sentence? So write in 2 or 3 words what is interrogative sentence. What is interrogative sentence? I'm waiting for your reply. Okay, the sentence which asks question. Okay, interrogative sentence is a sentence that actually asks a question, ask a fact through a question. Okay, ask a fact through a question. So let's start it. So now in interrogative sentence we have, okay, one rule is for the sentence that start with the question that start with the auxiliary verb, and another one the sentence that start with WH question. Okay, we have 2 rules here. Sentence that start with auxiliary verb, of course everyone knows it, isn't it? Okay, I will tell you auxiliary verb are like is, am, are, has, have, had. So these are all auxiliary verb. Okay, will, shall. Again, you have the models of verb also, can, could, should. So when a sentence starts with is, am, are, that means the auxiliary verb, we have one particular rule for that. And again, we have a sentence that starts with WH question. Okay, WH question, that means question start with what, where, which, when, why, etc. Okay. So first I will read it out. Rule number 1. Okay. Rule number 1 is the reported speech. If the reported speech is an inverted question, then in indirect speech, say will change into asked or inquired of, and in place of that, if or whether is used. Okay. So interrogative sentence, the first rule is that if the reported speech is and could. Okay. 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 So yes, Neil, video started. Okay, so I will repeat it. Interrogative sentence. The first rule is if the reported speech is a question, that means inverted question that start with the auxiliary verb. Okay, like is, am, are, has, have, had, page. Said, of course, said will change into asked or inquired. Okay, so said will change into asked or inquired of. You can mention anyone. You can write asked or you can write inquired of. Okay. Said changes into asked because it is a question. So said will change into asked. Okay. And in place of that, yesterday we have learned in assertive sentence when you change uh, direct speech from a direct speech into indirect speech, then in place of comma and inverted comma, you need to put that, isn't it? But here in interrogative sentence, we will not mention that. Instead of that, we will write is or whether. Anyone you can mention, okay? It is not necessary. There is no particular rule that where to use if or where to use whether. Both can be used in any places. So one you can use it. So if or whether, okay? So that is how you can change direct to indirect speech. So I will give you an example. He said to me, comma, inverted comma start, are you well? Full stop, question mark. It will be question mark, inverted comma, close. So that is direct speech. When you will change it into indirect, of course, said changes into asked. So it will be he asked me. Here said to me will change into asked me. Okay. You will not mention asked to me. Same thing like said to me, told me, but this is a question, so asked me. He asked me, then in place of that we will mention if. He asked me if. So in question it was, are you well? So remember, you will take the place of the verb and verb will go and take the place of the subject. So are you well? It will change. Are will come in the place of uh, you will come in the place of R and R will go in the place of you. So it will change. That means when you change interrogative sentence in indirect speech, then that question will change it into assertive type question. Okay, it will change into assertive. So it will not remain question. Okay, so the answer will be he asked me if I was well. So is reporting verb is in past tense and the report speech also change into also applicable here. Okay. Same. Those first, second, third rule will also be applicable here. So those things are also applicable here. Okay. So first, second, and rule will also be those rules will we can apply in this sentence also, interrogative sentence. Okay. Clear, everyone? Please write it down if it is not clear. Okay. So he said to me, are you well? So when you change it into indirect speech, it will be he asked me if I was well or whether I was well. Okay, good afternoon, Jaydeep. Actually, class 8 classes are going on and I have sent you some question in the group. So complete that work. You have some work there. You complete it and send it to me. Okay? Or if you want to stay here, you can stay here. You can watch the video and later on you can complete it and send it. Okay, so clear? He asked me if I was well, or you can also write he inquired of me whether I was well. Okay, so clear, everyone? Is there any doubt? I will. Can I start rule number 2? If you have any doubt, write it down. I will explain it again if you have doubt. Okay, once again. Okay, I will repeat it. The first rule of in interrogative sentence: if the reported speech is a question that starts with auxiliary verb or modals, then when you change it into indirect speech, said will change into asked, and in place of that, we will write if or whether. Said, asked, or inquired of. Anyone you can mention, and in place of that, we will write if or whether. And remember, when you change it into indirect speech, the question changes it into assertive sentence. So that's why whenever you write, you change interrogative sentence from direct to indirect speech. In indirect speech, you do not need to put question mark. You put full stop there. Okay, clear? When you will actually practice it, it will be easier for you. Okay, so for example, he said to me, "Are you well?" So when you change it into indirect speech, it will be he asked me whether, or you can write if. He asked me if I was well. So you have to say who is saying he, and to whom? To me. So are you well? That you is who? I. Okay, as it is asking to ask to me. Okay, when it is asked to me, then it will be, you have to say. At first, you have to see the reporting verb, who is speaking, to whom this sentence has been spoken, and then according to that you need to change you into I or he or she according to that. Okay, so I hope it's clear. Now let's go to interrogative sentence rule number 2, the question that start with WH question. Okay, WH question. So WH question are actually questions that start with what, why, where, when, which, who, whom, how, etc. So I will read it out, the rule. If the question begins with what, why, where, when, which, who, whom, how, etc. Okay. When if the question begins with this type of words, then the subject of the reported speech takes the front position and if or whether is not used. So the subject takes the front position, but if or whether is not used here. Okay, if or whether is not used. So what it will be used in place of if or whether. So example I will give you. For example, he said to me, comma, inverted comma, start, "What are you doing?" Question mark, inverted comma, close. So that is direct speech. Now you will change it into indirect speech. So it will be he asked me. Of course, same thing, said will change into ask, but in WH question we do not mention if or whether. Okay. So he asked me what? The same thing. What are you doing? So what will take the front position? What? I was. So are you? That will change. You will come in the place of are. Are will take the place of you. So here he asked me. I was doing. So same thing. The past tense, present tense changes into past tense. Present continuous changes into past continuous. So what I was doing. Full stop. Okay. Clear, everyone? We have the same network problem. Okay, so understood, everyone? Rule number 2. Oh, network problem. Okay, so I will repeat rule number 2. In rule number 2, everything is same as like in rule number 1. Say changes into ask. But here we cannot put if or whether. We do not mention if or whether. The subject takes the front position here. Like for example, he said to me, "What are you doing?" It will be he asked me. Then what? As the question start with which question? What type of question? What, which, or who? Whatever it will be there, it will mention the same thing. So here what, it starts with what, so we will write what. are you doing will change into what I was doing. Okay, so are and you, it changes. It takes it become it in exchange. Okay, the place exchange. And the other thing I said, and you need to put full stop there. Okay, clear everyone? So let's see if you are clear or not. I will ask you some question related with interrogative sentence. You can write it down in the notebook and using the rules, you write it down and send it to me. Okay. Okay. Are you ready, everyone, for the question? Let's see if you have understood or not. Okay. So question one will be Raj said to Rumi. Raj said, question is direct speech, change it into indirect speech. Okay. So it's your turn. Write it down, think it, and write it down and send it to me. Raj said to Rumi, are you hungry? Raj said to Rumi, are you hungry? Okay, question. Raj said to Rumi, are you and I, Rumi? Okay, Raj said to Rumi, comma, inverted comma, start, are you hungry? Raj said to Rumi, said to Rumi, are you hungry? Reply. Raj said to Rumi, are you hungry? Are you hungry? Okay, Anubhav, you have replied it, but are you hungry? That is a question, okay? Full comma, inverted comma, start. Are you hungry? Now you have to change it into indirect speech. E for whether will be used. Raj asked Rumi. Then E for whether, E for whether will be used. Then are you hungry, as it is in present tense, it will change it into past tense. So you think it and write down. Raj asked, said to Rumi, comma, inverted comma, start, are you hungry? Question mark, inverted comma, close. No, Dhruv, that is the wrong answer. Try it, but still you have tried, that's good. But that is not the correct answer. Okay, Tanushri has replied. Raj asks Rumi, are you hungry? So here, who is asking? Raj. To whom? Rumi. So are you hungry? That you is who? Rumi. So it will be whether she was hungry. Okay, it will be whether she was hungry. Whether she was hungry. Yes, if you are writing the name she and in bracket you can write the name. Kiran, your answer is not correct. I will I will tell the answer. Raj asked Rumi if or whether, anything you can write, if she was hungry. If she was hungry, or you can also write whether she was hungry. Raj asks Rumi if she was hungry, or you can also write whether she was hungry. Okay, clear? Okay, another. Will you listen to me? He said to me, comma, inverted comma, start. Will Anubhav, that is the correct answer. Raj asked Rumi whether she was hungry. Okay, Kiran, yes, network problem going on. Every time whenever we start class, it just I thought that at 1:30 it becomes little bit because of network problem we cannot actually continue the class properly. So I thought to take it at 12:30. 12:30 also the same thing happens. Raj asked Rumi whether she was hungry. That is the correct answer. So second question for you will be, he said to me, will you listen to me? Will you listen to me? He said to me, comma, inverted comma, start. Will you listen to me? Question mark, inverted comma, close. He said to me, will you listen to me? Will you listen to me? Reply. He said to me, will you listen to me? You just say he said to me will change into he asked me, and then you need to put if or whether. So anyone you can write, he asked me if, will you listen to me? So will you listen to me? Here who is saying he? To whom? To me. I will change this into would. Will change this into would. If I would listen to him. Here me will change into him. If I would listen to him. Okay, Muskan has replied. He asked wrong. He asked me if that will not be there, Muskan. Muskan, this is class 8 going on. I have already sent you some question to write. Write it down and reply it. But still, if you want to stay here, you can stay here. Others, I think you are a little bit confused. You have not understood the thing properly. Is it so? So, no reply. Okay, one more question. Okay, one more question for you. It will be, he said to me, yes, of course, facts and moral, you can reply it. Okay, you could not. Okay, no problem, Anubhav. So I will reply the answer. Okay, I will tell you the answer of the previous question. It will be, he asked me. He asked me. We just see said to me will change into asked me as it is a question. Then if will be mentioned here. He asked me if I would listen to him. The answer will be, he asked me if I would listen to him. You can note it down in your notebook. Okay, if I would listen to him. Okay, next question for you. Hiron is saying, Hiron is saying, where will you go? Hiron is saying, comma, inverted comma start, where, okay, WH question. So what we need to write in WH, we don't put if or whether in WH question. So reply, try it. If you will not be able to tell, then I will reply the answer. But just take time, reply it. If it is wrong, also no matter. But at least you try it. Hiron is saying, comma, inverted comma start. Where will you go? Question mark, inverted comma, close. Hiron is saying, where will you go? Okay, Anubhav has tried. Hiron is asking whether okay, that okay, tried well, but the answer is not correct. Anubhav, you have tried very good. But here you see, Hiron is saying, it is, of course, that is correct. Hiron is asking, it will be because it is in present tense. Hiron is asking. This is WH question. We will not put whether or if here. Okay, WH question. We will not put whether or if. So directly the question will start. The answer will start with WH where. So it will be because this is we have to apply the first rule. Okay, the first rule of narration we have to apply it here. Hiran is asking where. So here Hiran is asking to whom. It is not mentioned, so that this you we can change as he also, we can change as I also. So it will be Hiran is asking, no need to write me here because me is not mentioned, where I shall go. Or you can also write where he will go. Where I shall go will be the appropriate one. You can mention where I shall go. Okay. Okay, so another question for you. If you can reply it. One more question for all of you will be, I said to the woman, I said to the woman, comma, inverted comma, start, do you know me? I said to the woman, comma, inverted comma, start, do you know me? Question mark, inverted comma, close. I said to the woman, do you know me? I said to the woman, do you know me? The spelling of weather will be Whether, okay? I said to the woman, do you know me? Okay, Neil Madhav now he is little bit active. I think he has not understood. That's why maybe till now no reply. I have got no reply from anyone. Okay, Anubhav here. No, Anubhav here. Why you have mentioned propose? Because we are doing interrogative sentence. Okay, Suman he has replied. I asked I asked the woman if she knew me. Okay, present tense will change into past tense. So, Neil, it will be I asked the woman if she knew me, full stop, no question mark will be given there. Suman, I asked the woman if she knew me, full stop. Okay, if she knew me. Do you know me is present tense, so you have to change it into past tense. So it will be knew me, if she knew me. Okay, you can write it down in your notebook the correct answer. It will be I asked the woman if she knew me. If she knew me. Okay. Okay, so next question. Today I thought I will also continue imperative sentence, but I think you have a little bit confusion in interrogative. So we will interrogative. We will actually I will ask you some of the question and we will end here today interrogative sentence only. I will not start the imperative. You practice interrogative sentence properly. It will be easy for you. Okay. If you will practice, it will be easy. Okay. I asked the woman, okay, Anubhav, it will be I asked the woman whether she knew me. Whether spelling will be Whether, okay? The correct spelling Whether. Whether she knew me. Sorry. Whether she knew me, okay? Okay, so next question. You try it, no matter if it is wrong or right. I will correct it. Okay, next question. The teacher asked me if I knew how to swim. The teacher asked me if I knew how to swim. The teacher asked me, this question is indirect speech, you have to change it into direct speech. The teacher asked me if I knew how to swim. The teacher asked me if I knew how to swim. Write it down in your notebook and try to write it. If it is wrong, also no matter, I will correct it. I will tell you the answer later on, but still, at least you try it. So the question is: the teacher asked me if I knew how to swim. Knew, K-N-E-W. Okay, Neil has replied. The teacher. Neil, I have asked the question that I asked you was in indirect speech. You need to change it into direct speech. So remember, whenever you write direct speech, it should be written in inverted comma. It should be written in inverted comma. Okay? You should write knew how to swim. If I knew how to swim. Okay, now some of them are has wake up. I think so. Okay, Muskan, the teacher said to me, "Do you know how to swim?" Question mark. You need to put question mark. Very good. Nitesh Ghosh, they said to me, "Do you know?" The teacher said to me. It will be okay. Nitesh, the teacher said to me, comma inverted comma start. Do you know how to swim? Question mark inverted comma close. Muskan has replied correctly, but you have forgotten to put the question mark. Okay, so one more question. They inquired of me who I was. Okay, the teacher said to me. Okay, Anubhav said to me, comma inverted comma start. Do you know 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 how to swim? Question mark question mark inverted comma close. And remember, after inverted comma, every time the first letter should be capital. Okay, the first letter should be capital. So the answer of the previous question is the teacher said to me, comma, inverted comma start, do you know how to swim? Question mark, inverted comma, close. Okay. So now they inquired of me who I was. Of me who I was. They inquired of me who I was. This is the question. They inquired of me who I was. The question isn't in direct speech. You need to write in direct speech. Okay. Inquired of me who I was. They inquired of me who I was. Okay, Muskan has replied. Okay, Anshika. Anshika now woke up, I think so. Okay. They said, okay, Anshika, you have tried very good, but it's not correct. It will be they said to me, comma, inverted comma start, who are you? They said to me, comma, inverted comma start, who are you? So, clear everyone? Okay, I think network is also disturbing a lot. So we have completed interrogative sentence. Yes, for as you are first time, maybe that's why there is confusion for you. Okay, Nitesh has replied. They said to me, "Who are you?" Yes, very good. That is the correct answer. So you just practice it. Whatever sentence we have done, practice it. Okay, Anubhav, they said to me, "Who are you?" Question mark. Question mark, inverted comma, close. Don't forget it. Correct. So that's all for today, students. So whatever things we have explained here, I have explained here. You just see, you just repeat it. If you have any doubt anywhere, you repeat the video, watch it, and again practice the grammar. Okay, whatever sentence we have done, you practice it. It will be very easy for you. If you will practice, it will be easy. If you will not practice, it will be very tough. So of course, we all know that practice makes a man perfect. So it's not so tough. Nothing is impossible. You can also do it, but you need to practice the thing. Okay. So that's all for today. Um, Again, tomorrow we will be back with some other sentences. We will try to complete Narration, and yes, preposition, half we have completed. We have not completed the whole preposition. So maybe on Monday